Okay, stream marker. All right. So it is time to finally update my tier list. I did the March one super early, but that's also because JP didn't have shit going on at that time. Now we do have some adjustments to make. I'm going to start here on the assassins. We have assassins, extra attack, uh, extra class 2. Oh, by the way, assassins, it's Lacosta, and then Gramps got buffed here on extra class 2. The title is actually too long. This title is too long, and I can't put Beast in here as well. But we have Tiamat, Draco, and Jox got her buff today. We have Satanta, and I'm gonna look at Strong Sisters because it is unfair to. They really shouldn't be on this tier. Uh, and then for casters, we have Da Vinci and Caster Gill. I have them all up here already, just so I didn't forget. If I forgot any servants from this video, uh, I don't think I did, but they'll probably go into the May update. I hope to have these videos, these tier list update videos, either on the last day of the month or the first day. I don't want to put it off or like put it in the middle of the month last time because anything could happen in, like after realistically anything could happen in the last 2 months or 2 weeks of a month as shown today. We got or the last half of this month we got literally everything. So let us start with the assassins. So I'm not gonna go too in depth for servants, uh, but I will like go through the kit like pretty quickly. So Costa, low attack, HP, good ascension artwork, star weight, sergeant assassin numbers, MP charge low, but hit count, blah blah blah. Her kit makes sense. Poison, arts, and MP gen, poisoning enemies, heals from poison, damage cut, guts, party battery, on attack buff for spreading poison, and inflicts poison so she can heal over here. Star Gen, poison's chance increase, debuff resistance. Appends are kind of whatever with her because of battery amount. Power mod on poison, inflicts toxic, and depending on how many poison stacks you have, you do more damage. Arts buff as the overcharge. Good scaling here. Power mod against poison enemies, and she inflicts poison on herself, so she gets healing from her Bond CE. And not only that, she powers up the party. So this is Jock's Bond CE, but better. It is a better version of Jock CE. Um, there's only one turn unless you get buff stripped where she actually takes damage from that poison. So it's a non-issue. You heal or it's a non-issue. You literally heal more than you could possibly take damage from this unless you get buff stripped. And forgive me if I'm going like speed running through this. I just did this video. I'm not gonna. If you want to watch the full breakdown, go watch that. So, as a single target assassin, she's here as a newly released single target assassin. She can ramp up her own damage fairly easily. Not the easiest. You do want to double stack. But inflicting poison, getting higher stacks isn't that hard. It's fairly easy to keep at least this uptime between spanning MPs. There are also a couple of command codes that deal with inflicting poison. Um, Ailment infliction. So poison, poison. Yeah, three. There are Okay, wait. Because the icon is would show here more than anything over this icon. So there are, I see three. There are three command codes with poison on it. So if you slap those on her arts cards, um, yeah, your uptime on this is gonna be like pretty good. Like, yeah, and this is a big poison too. Uh, yeah. So uptime, it's not hard at that damage. She out starts out damaging Kama and Jack, but Kama is not like one of the top assassins because of damage. I like her kit, and I think she goes up here. I think she is on the same level as Chiome. I truly do. All their stuff is 3 turns. The uptime on the power mod isn't even on a skill, it's on her MP. So you can ramp that up with command codes and her own MP. Yeah, I think it's very fair to put her in the same category as Chiome. Is she better than Chiome? Chiome kind of just can output, has like a wider net to the point where like she's stopped if your enemy is debuff immune or poison immune. It's rare, but it happens. Chiome, like if she can't put curses on, it's not the end of the world because she does have other power mods. Yeah. Like demonic and put curse on, she's hitting like times 5 damage for the poison. So Chiome is just like a little more versatile. And she doesn't have the restriction of the the cur- the hit base curses. So I feel confident putting her in A. Gramps. Gramps got one hell of a buff. And again, I'm if a servant got a buff, I'm not going through their whole kit again unless I have to. Gramps third skill got changed from a 1 turn 50% buff to a 3 turn 50% buster buff with a 30% MP battery. This means he is able to 3 turn like single target farm with Oberon for some really disgusting damage. Um and I actually have this list right here. Oh, and you can use it with a 50%. I hope that didn't just mess it up. I really hope I didn't just mess this up. Oh no, I shouldn't even be looking at here. No, no, I should be. The 3 turn damage for 1. Yeah, this didn't it didn't even do what I thought it was gonna do. Yeah, I'm not gonna screw with this. Oh, and this is including special trait. Yeah, so Hassan, he's not the highest damage, but he's second highest with Chiome being the highest because Oh, because this is Black Rail. Oh, okay. Yeah, like for Buster Servants, he pretty much completely outdamages. Only beaten out by Carmilla against female. And then it's like a wide margin. I didn't even know Chiome like was that hot, was doing that much damage. Holy shit. Yeah, that is some dirty, filthy, nasty stuff. But Carmilla is just like super easy to use. Yeah, so he is best 3-turner. But let's not forget, this is a 3-turn Buster buff. Like, so this stacks with Koi and Sky and stuff. So now, like, his MP, whether you use it or not, he's still gonna do like really good Buster crits. He has triple Buster. So, like I said in the video, he at minimum he has 80% Buster up from his own kit, along with this just multiplying into the attack that Buster, those Buster buffs. He really appreciates Oberon, really boosts up his damage because like he doesn't have MP damage. Now it sucks you can't use Black Rail, but that's whatever. He is not an arts or quick unit, so him being able to do that, output his damage the way it is impressive. I think it's enough to bring him up to A. He has a battery and a 3-turn 50% buff. I think leaving him in B here would be a crime. I don't think he's EX though. He needs an MP buff before he's EX because his MP it basically does nothing. His Buster crits probably would hit harder. His Buster crits probably do hit harder than his MP, except when it's buffed by Oberon. I think King Hassan is like welcome into A class or A tier. Uh, so April. Yeah, I'm locking this in. Lacosta A class A tier. Hassan buffed up to A tier. All right, so unpin this. Now we're moving on. I'm saving this for last. I'm definitely saving this for last, not just because it's 3, but because I'm hyped for this. All right, so Satanta. Again, going through his kit, high base attack, okay HP, MP charge is good for his for a Saber. Hit counts are pretty good. More hits on quick are welcome. Double arts with 2 hits each. It's fine. It's honestly fine. Works well with his mighty chains. Attack buff, debuff cleanse, stars, power mod against wild beasts, quick performance, low number, but it's tied with a 100% power mod, like similar to Echan's 3-turn power mod against mechanical. His is more usable than Echan's 100% crit damage, even though that 100% is really nice. And it's also on a higher cooldown. So you're trading 1 turn of 100% crit damage for 3 turns of quick at a much lower value. Pick which one is better. They're kind of the same, but this is more usable, especially the carryover. Chance based this, but it's only chance based if you don't have it leveled. Crit damage, and star weight, and they're both for 3 turns, along with the 2 attack 3-turn dodge. They'll have all the coins. 5 hits, single target, quick MP, ignores evasion, pierces defense, reduces defense after damage, power mod against wild beasts, and also party quick performance. So straight up, he has MP5. Oh, wrong one. He is MP5. So I immediately look at Karna, see where he is, and he at least goes up one tier than Karna. At the very least. Yes, his crit stuff doesn't nearly hit the highs of Karna, but Karna's stuff is one turn. All his stuff is 3 turns and just more consistent. Like you can use up the crit damage, the quick buffs, all of those in like kind of the first turn, and then you're like he's not a wet noodle, but he's like not hitting those same highs. While Satanta Kitku, he's got all that stuff for 3 turns. This is just a preference for me, but the hit based and the just low uptime on all Santa Carna skills, he needs to be down here. Now, I am going back to Trung Sisters because I do watch other people's tier lists. I do watch Miss tier list. I have a lot on my plate right now that I don't have time to like go through all of them. I eventually will over the course of the next couple weeks. But yeah, he has high praises for Chung Sisters. And when I was harsh by saying like buff this and then maybe I'll put them in like a higher rank. But like I look at their the competition, like Benny Emma's conditionally better. I do think Hajime Saito is better than Trunk Sisters. 100%. I think he's way better. But at MP1, is he better? At MP1, is he a whole tier better than them? Their damage is very similar, but they can ramp up a lot. They can ramp up on the turn, and they still have ramp up. So yeah, I'm gonna move up Trunk Sisters up to A class or A tier. I still think Saito is better. I think Benny Emma is conditionally better, and her kid is solid as is. These two, they can offer a lot. They don't belong in B tier. That's my bad, but I'm not putting them in EX. Mm-mm. I still don't think their ramp up is that good, and you need to be popping their MP to get any kind of ramp up whatsoever. So if you cannot loot the MP, but they're 9-hit arts, so it shouldn't be that hard. If you can't loop their MP, you're not going to be doing that well. That heal return though is pretty nice. I do agree. What Miss is saying, like this as the normal effect is underrated, especially if you are running with a double Castoria. I don't advise it, but like if you are, this is like a lot of healing that your Castorias normally wouldn't give. Only if you had Tamamo. So I'm gonna lock this in. Oh, April Saber. Yep. Locking this in. And I go to Nero cards. We only have 2 of them though. All right. Next up, we have the casters. Close these. So we got 2 of them. Let us start with Da Vinci because hers has been out longer. So they buffed her first skill. They made it not chance based, and they made it targeted, and they give you overcharge. That is what they did for her buff. Oh, and they made everything 3 turns. This buff is amazing because it changes Da Vinci's role. Now she can either do all this stuff herself and be the DPS, or she can be somewhat of an esports unit. Get her 50 out of 50, arts buff, along with all this shit for whoever you want, and then she eventually dies. If you want her to be DPS, she can. She has all this potential. Oh. I think this is. Oh. So I think this is definitely enough to bring Da Vinci up at least a tier. Um, I don't want to say like all these buffs are going to like up the tier for every single servant, because it's unfortunately it's not. Unfortunately not. Like for the one I love, for the buff I love the most, it's not enough to elevate that servant to another tier. So Da Vinci goes to A because she goes from being a DPS to a sub DPS. And I think that's awesome. I truly think that's awesome that they gave Da Vinci a better role than she had before. Now, this is one that threw me for a loop, but it makes sense that they decided to buff this one, and it makes me wonder what kind of ridiculous thing they're gonna do for Gilgamesh's charisma. So this buff came out today. Gilgamesh's video, or new video, will be out the same day this comes out, I think. Yeah, like this should be the morning video, and Caster Gil should be the afternoon. I know it's kind of weird doing it out of order, but that's also the order I'm recording this stuff. So 100% Sargen. This was Gilgamesh's thing, what he was known for, because he gave a whole bunch of shit that art servants literally do not have. They gave him the Elena treatment, and they didn't even split it up. They put it all on the same skill. So like Taigon's battery on a longer cooldown. 30% battery to himself, keeps the Sargen, and a 20 to the party. So he goes from not having a battery whatsoever and having one of the most atrocious MP gains in the entire game to now having a 50% battery while still having some of the most atrocious gains in the game. So according to this list, the most common setup, double cast Soria 2004, is not enough to make him Black Rail Loop. Is it possible to do it? Oh, absolutely. 100%. There's going to be a way to make him Black Rail Loop. Probably Oberon. If I had to guess, it'd probably be Oberon. And honestly, like double cast Doria and Oberon for another 70% battery. That's, at that point, it's overkill. Because that is over. That is 50, 120, 200, 220 battery. So if you are smart with when you're popping skills, Gilgamesh only has to refund 80% the entire wave clearing. Like all across 2 turns, he needs to refund 80%. I don't think that's that hard to do, but it's asking for a lot. Like the safe bet is to just use like Ocean Flyer, Bargist. That just puts them in the same category as Jason. Like, and they're actually doing similar damage, so that's hilarious. Yeah. Oh my god, that's too funny. He does less damage than Jason. Oh my god. Unfortunate. That's unfortunate. You hate to see that. Um, Obviously, looping with Guildcaster is going to be significantly easier if you have higher copies. Where do I have him here? B. I had him on the same category as Helena before when he didn't have the 50% battery. I think this is safe, and I think this is like better than Helena. For arts teams, he is 100% now better than Helena. Helena is like more uh mixed. Like she can buff up quick, just not as good as like someone else would. Uh and like focuses more on her damage than the parties. So I think Gil is just like a straight up upgrade to Helena, which is kind of how it should be because isn't Gil story? No, he's not story locked. Um, but yeah, canonically Gil is stronger uh than Helena by a long shot. Even as a caster, he would be stronger than Helena. Yeah, his MP is just better too. Like for the party, because he gen stars on his MP. Helena's will not do that. So I think him going up to A is fair. So we're gonna lock this. April faster. All right. Okay. So these are gonna be placed at the same time, and will go over reasoning very soon. Tiamat is EX. Draco is A. However, I am putting the caveat that we do not have Final Ascension Draco. We do not. People are speculating that she switches to AoE on Third Ascension. I can't judge it based on a guess like that, and she might be coming out like that the day this video comes out. Unfortunately, that just is what it is. If she does change her MP type, I will put it in the May tier list and just make note of that. But Draco first. High attack, okay HP, triple buster for big deeps. She does want, like, honestly, she kind of does want Vich, like similar in a similar situation to Galatea. How she has triple buster, she will benefit greatly from like roiding out the buster crits. Maybe a little more than Castoria, but you still want to have like someone buffing up her arts. Although she kind of doesn't need it. You want the arts buff for the refund, not for damage. She already hits really, really hard. If you're gonna be doing it in harder stuff. So skill order is important. Make sure you pop skill 2 before skill 3. Otherwise, you literally lose out on all of this shit. You will lose out on all of this if you do not have this active. Crit damage here. So a total of 40% when this is up. And very possible double stack. Guaranteed debuffs. Like you literally can't fight this unless you have debuff immunity. MP power mod against everything she already has class advantage against. So this multiplies with everything. %30 MP damage, and while she has Holy Grail, 40% chance to increase MP damage by 10% for 3 turns when attacking. This applies to her MP. You can get MP damage by MPing with Draco if you have this Bonzi and it's Estus. So like the sword Nero uses like all the time. I don't know why that would be her bond CE. Haven't read like any of her lore stuff either. So Draco is tentatively here at A. I don't know if her MP is going to change this. If it is, cool. If not, whatever. I still think she's here because she's the first beast class servant we have, and she has full advantage over all normal servants. All the ones that are normally summoned in a Grail War, she has class advantage over it. Uh, and not just like an alter ego. She actually takes half damage from all the main classes. Yes, it's like full class disadvantage against all extra class, but like for if you're going through the main story, the only time like this is going to be this class advantage is going to be an issue or class disadvantage is part 1 against fake Jolter. That's it. You are mostly fighting normal class servants throughout the campaign, and then like alter egos and rulers only started becoming more common after the main story ended. Now, Tiamat. She is one of the very few buster servants that are able to use Black Rail when farming. Her numbers are ridiculous. Like, this is with class advantage, but it can get a lot higher. And then you also have to remember like all the face card stuff. Tiamat, like, and Tiamat has like good solo stuff. Her heal is on an extremely low cooldown to the point you can pop this twice. This MP damage is nothing to scoff at. Like popping this twice with Oberon is a lot of damage you're adding on because it gets 80% MP damage equal to a Black Rail. You are literally doubling, not doubling, but increasing the amount of MP damage getting stacked up by like 50% compared to just a Black Rail. But there are other stuff. It's not exactly that. But this is half of a Black Rail's MP damage when you double stack this. And that's going to be doubled anyway. Lots of passes. This is so good for like solo stuff. You take this with a heal on this low of cooldown. It's going through just the story of this game, even with class disadvantage. Tiamat's not going to die. Like if you take her and run through like the first nodes in the game, like she's not taking damage. She will take like 2, maybe 3 if you get critted, and that's about it. She will literally just see zeros when she gets hit. Her MP is good, ramps up just like Melisson. Her bond CE charges the entire party, including your backlines, by 5% every turn she's on the field. So if you're in a stall comp, when your back line starts coming in, they're going to come in with their full MP. And depending on how much you stall, you might give them overcharge too. Chaotic Evil for Doman synergy. Like, she's female, divine, like, she has literally all the traits that are like super common to being like buffed. She has them. Like, this is a servant that they literally gave so much to. Like, yes, she's alter ego, but for her case, it's not a disadvantage. And in the event right now, I'm literally farming her, like against Lancers, because she's the best farmer I have on the account to be doing it. While I only have the 30% event CE instead of having it MOB'd. Tiamat was worth the hype. They built this character so well. I am confident in putting her in the same tier as Melisson. In comparison to the other extra class, she is brought down when in comparison to Melisson, who's really raised up compared to the other Lancers. These extra class are like comparable. They are all comparable or make Tiamat even better. So I'm firm in putting her in this category. Now, As I said, there is one servant who came out that got a buff that I can't raise their ranking no matter how good the buff was. And that's Jocks. You guys, people know this is like my favorite character. I love this servant so much. The gameplay, just the potential of this servant, it's all up there for me. Like her main flaw is that she's neutral evil, not chaotic. So not full Doman synergy, but all of it's still there. Her buff skill 3 lets her put on curse before she attacks with normal cards. If this worked on the MP, holy fucking shit. That MP is guaranteed now to be like hitting the 30,000 that it says on it instead of the 22. But but like all you have to do is do a face card now. Before it was you needed to do a face card with a command seal. Now you don't need the command seal. So very similar to Lacosta, Jox has a bunch, and I mean a lot. There are so many curse. There are so many of these for curse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can literally do it every single one of Jock's card with a curse CE. And then she's just ramping up even more. Every single card, you're putting at least 1,000 curse on per turn. All of that's gonna get multiplied by the evil curse. Uh MP is more consistent for hitting the power mod against the enemy you need to hit it, so the higher health uh ramps up on MP damage. This is like even more free than it already was. The main selling point for this is now she functions perfectly as a buster or quick crit servant. She does not need her MP to enable her own niche. She just needs to hit someone. And a big thing, this activates first, unlike command codes. Command codes all activate after damage. So even if you were stacking all the command codes, the first hit still would not be the best damage. Now, like, she functions so much better. I'm so glad she's double buster, double quick, and not double quick, double arts. So much. She is just like a solid all around servant. She has every single buff type, all of them. Hard survivability with an invul, stars return, card buff, power mod, dots, you name it, Jox has it. Unfortunately, that's not enough to put her into EX. It pains me. It pains me that I cannot put Jox in EX. And I know it's not everything. Like MP damage is not everything. This should be very apparent. But this is it's still a bit of a pain point that her base MP damage can be pretty lackluster. Um this is lying because it's not showing like the ramp up, but like especially if you're not doing get if you don't have a face card to start off, you don't have her power mod. So that's main complaint with Jox right now. MP buff, make the curse start before damage, and then she should be like as consistent as Arjuna Alter, just on type neutral and not super effective or not being effective. It pains me, chat. I love Jox, but I have to be realistic. I can't say she's the same category as Van Gogh, as Oberon, as Bazette, as Doman. as Cuckoo as Tiamat. All right. So locking this in, and yeah, this is the tier list update. Uh Hopefully you guys can at least understand my placements. If you guys disagree with what I'm saying, if you think someone should be knocked down or bumped up, I get it. These are all my opinions of what I value. But